Hello everyone, my name is Anilanda and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today, I'll be showing you on how I made my floating burger. But before that, hit intro. Creating a floating burger or any food that floats in a picture needs a lot of time and preparation and patience. This is because of the materials that you need to set up and of course the food that you need to prepare, and the most important is the editing. There are many ways of creating a floating burger. You can hang them, you can put them on top of a wire, or you can use a barbecue stick. The very first floating burger that I created was I used a 2 light stand and a wire that I wrapped in both sides, and then I put my burger on each of those layers of wire that I created. Well, in this video, I used a barbecue stick, a styrofoam, a plate, and of course, a burger that's not assembled yet. What I did to achieve this picture is I put the 4 barbecue sticks on the styrofoam, and then I also put each of the elements of the hamburger on a layer basis with a distance of at least 2 to 3 inches, so it would look like it's floating in the post process. Once I took picture of it, what I did next is I cleared the table, and then I took picture of the background, plain background, because I will be using it as a base layer in Photoshop. Let's now jump to Photoshop. The first step that we need to do is we need to open the files that we took picture of. Like here, select 2 of the pictures that I've selected and then open it to Photoshop. Once you click it and open it in Photoshop, there will be a new window, a camera raw, where you can adjust all the shadows, exposure, and then once you've done that adjusting, I'll make a few quick adjustments. I'll move the texture, clarity, vibrance. I'll open up the shadow a bit, and then blacks, and let's adjust a bit of exposure, highlights. It's too much, something like this. And then right click right here on the film strip, right click, and then select all. And then once it's been selected, go back again right here and right click, and then sync settings. What does this do is whatever changes you made in the first layer will be applied to the rest of the layers or the pictures on the left side. And then just click OK. Select them all and then open images. So once you've done that, both of these images will be opened in Photoshop. Now, once we are in Photoshop, the first thing that we need to do is to go to the picture of the burger first. Well, if you can see here, this is the burger and this is the background layer that we took picture of separately. Now, from the burger layer, from the burger file, first thing is we need to duplicate the layer as always. To duplicate, just go right here and press Command J or Control J if you're using a PC. Once it's been duplicated, this is what we're going to do. We are going to select out each of this layer, and then once this is being selected out, we are going to move each of this burger layer to the background layer that we just also took picture of. Now, to do that, I always use pen tool if I will select a certain element out of the picture. Now, go to your tool panel and click on the pen tool, which is this one, or press P if for a shortcut of your pen tool. Now, what are we going to do next is we're going to zoom all the way in so that it will be a lot easier for us to select out the burger. You need to select it out in this manner if you really want your picture to look really good and accurate, so it will look realistic. I am going to fast forward this so we will save a lot of time, and see you in a few minutes. Okay, now we are close to selecting out the burger. The next step is, zoom it out first. Next step is right click and then make selection. And then just feathering radius will be 0, and then just click OK. After that, press Command J, and you will see that this layer, this bun, is being selected out of the picture. Now let's click this back again. Now, next is we are going to move this to the background layer. To do that, just go to your move tool. Make sure this layer, layer 2 or the bond layer is being selected, and then just click and drag it right here and move this on top, and then rename this as burger bun top. Now let's do it again. Let us select out the tomato layer. Make sure layer 1 is selected, and then press P to zoom in first, and then press P for pen tool, and then trace the tomato out. If you made a mistake like this, for example, you can always undo it. Just press Command Z or Control Z, and then I'm going to make this fast again. See you in a few seconds. Close it, and then right click, make selection, press OK, and then make sure layer 1 is selected, and then press Command J. Now our tomato layer is selected out. Next is go to move tool, move it right here in our background layer. Now we are getting there. Do the same step to the rest of the burger layer. Do it on the here on the cheese, the burger, and the bottom bun. Once it's done, once all of them are being selected out, we are going to clean this out. We are going to clean the barbecue sticks that you can see in here, and then we are going to make the edges a bit softer. Okay, after you've done tracing out or selecting out the rest of the burger element, which is the cheese, the burger, and the bottom bun, we are going to clean this out. First is let's rename all these layers. Let's rename them so we won't get lost. This is the burger bun top. This is the tomato. Let's rename this as tomato. And this will be the cheese. And this will be the patty. And the burger bun. Bun bottom. Okay, now that we have renamed each and every one of them, let us first clean out the burger bun on top. We are going to remove this skewer that you can still see in here. To do that, just use the clone stamp tool. From there, once you click that, or you can also click S for a shortcut. Now make sure the burger bun on top layer is selected, and then from here, click first a sample to anywhere of this layer. I mean the burger bun on top. Make sure that you selected the closest part of this a skewer right here. So this is the closest, and then press Alt and then click. Once you've done that, if you can see here, it's being cleaned out. But you can make sure that you clean it out properly. So like this, and something like this. Now it's a bit okay. Yes, and then this. Okay, but if you can see that, there's one on top that's like you will miss this. You can just erase that. Just press the eraser tool. Hardness will be like this. Eraser or press E, and then erase this. Something like that. Okay. Do the same thing at the bottom. Just press S and clean this out. First, get a sample from here. Oops. Get a sample. Press S. Press sample right here, and then clean this up. From here, and then here, sample here, and then sample right here. Do the same process in this part. Skewer. Now, and also here. And in this part. Let's clean this up. Now, for some food photographer, we prefer to have, when we take picture, we always make sure that all of the elements of the food on the plate are really good looking, healthy looking. Like on this one, I really could not find a really good looking burger. So you'll find sometimes a crack right here. Some of them are like this part are not really good. Well, what we do, we have to fix it in post process. So also fix this by using the pen tool or whatever tool that's needed to fix this. Well, in this one, if you have something like crack, use the clone stamp tool. Just press S and then clean this too as well. And then also, if you want, for example, this part doesn't have a sesame seed, you can always copy this, move this right here, so this part will have a sesame seed. What you need to do is to use the patch tool or press J, and then select this out, and then, oops, and then press Command J. Make sure the burger bun on top is selected. Press Command J, and then move that in here. So now you have a sesame seed on this side. Just clean it out. Press erase. Just erase this part, so it will look natural. Again, now you can also now move this using your move tool. Click this, the sesame seed layer, and then press Alt and drag, so it will be like duplicated. Repeat the process if you want more. Make sure that it looks natural. Now these are the sesame seed layer. Just merge them all down and then merge them with the bun on top. Now clean this out. To clean this out, again, use the clone stamp tool. Press S, and then let us clean out the cracks. Do it really careful so it will look really good and natural. Also this one, clean this out. So that the burger will look really good and healthy. Clean this out and clean this out, whatever this is, clean this out. Clean this out. Okay, so once, for example, we have cleaned that out, now let's go to the next one, which is the tomato. Like this one, repeat the process on the tomato, use the clone stamp tool, and then clean it out. I'm not going to do it really in a perfect way, so it will save a lot of time, but you know the process. Like this, clean this out, clean the tomato skin, make sure that it will look really good and healthy. Clean them out. Okay, now repeat this process to the rest of the layers, and then after that, we are going to make the edge of each of these layers softer, so it will look really natural that this image is really in there. Now to do that, let's go to the burger bun top and press E for eraser tool. We are going to erase the edge of this burger bun to make it a bit blurred, softer. So to do that, eraser tool, make sure your hardness will be like all the way, let's make it like 15%. Okay, and then your cursor size will be something like this, around 20, and then just clean up the edges of, make your cursor smaller, clean up a bit bigger, just clean up the edges of your burger bun so it will be like blurred and it will look natural. There will be no hard edges, so we need to clean out the hard edges of the burger bun. And also, if you can see this excess, so this shouldn't be here, the black edges, so just erase them out. Something like that. Now you have to do this to the rest of the image, rest of the layers, so all of them will look really natural. Not really soft, but softer. Okay, once you've done that, for example, you've finished it, if you can see this, now it looks a bit better. Now repeat the process to the rest of the layer, so all of them will look really good. And then now, next step, we are going to, of course, the plate. We need to clean out the plate. If you can see that, that's being like chipped out from the background layer. Command J. So clean this out. You need to use the clone stamp tool, S, and then clean it out. Make the edge a bit softer. Okay, it's the softest. So select, get a sample right here, and from here also clean it out and clean it. looks cleaned. Also here, there's a chip right here. Clean that out. Do that also on your desk or on the table. Let's do this. S. Sample. You can use patch tool. Just click and drag. Click and drag. So repeat the process to all of the rest of this on the table, so it will look clean. Now once you've done that, the next step is we are going to add shadow. Now to add a shadow, we are going to use brush tool only. We are going to add a shadow in between on each of these burger elements right here. To do that, make sure bun at the bottom is clicked and click on a new layer, which is this one, and now there will be a new layer in between the patty and the bun at the bottom. Now just rename it as a shadow, and then you will also need to create a new layer between each of these elements. You can do that by simply press Alt and move it on top and then release Alt. So you already have another shadow layer. Do the same thing here between tomato and cheese and burger bun at the top and tomato. Now each of them already have a shadow layer. Let's first work on the shadow layer between the patty and the bun at the bottom. So make sure the shadow here, this shadow is selected. Press B for brush, or you can also click this as your brush tool. Press B. Make sure your palette color is black. Okay. Your brush hardness is all the way down to 0. Opacity and flow is 50%. The size of your cursor will depend on you. It's up to you. But for now, let's make the cursor size to 100. And then from there, just draw a shadow, a line, something like this. If you want it a bit darker, it's up to you. And then zoom out. And then from there, go to filter, blur. Make sure the shadow layer is still selected. Go to filter, blur, Gaussian blur. And then adjust the blurriness of your shadow. It's up to you, your taste. For this one, let's make it like 25 and press OK. Now you already have a shadow between your bun and your burger patty. Now repeat this process to the rest of the shadow layers, and your final output will be something like this. Now that you know on how to make a floating burger, you can make your own version of floating food. You can make a floating banana, a floating cake, floating orange, or you can make anything float in a picture. And that's it for today's video, and I hope you learned something. If you have any question, please comment down below, and please do not forget to like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't yet. I hope to see you in my next video, and be safe.